Good morning, it's Brenda here at the ABQ Sewing Studio, and it is Saturday. We have, let's see, another 5 days of quilt crawl still ahead of us. But I just wanted to take a minute and show you the block that we'll be sharing with you over here at the ABQ Sewing Studio in Strathroy. Our block here at the ABQ Sewing Studio is the Brenda's Blossom block, and you can see it set out here on some of my bag patterns. So there's a homeward bound bag with the blossom block set into it. There is a girlfriend's bag and our cute little zip and flip tote also has one on it. But let's go to our storyboard and show you how this is made. So what you start off with is squares, blue squares and green squares, and you have 4 of each. You fold your blue squares in half on the diagonal, and you can use acorn glue to adhere in between to get those to set in place. And then what happens is you place this triangle on a green square, and again you can glue this in place or you can baste it on your machine. Now I'm going to go to our storyboard to continue what happens next. So we've got 4 of these triangles folded and glued, and we have our squares here, and we put our triangle on top, but we also now want to put another one of these folded triangles on top on the other side. So we've got one on one side that we just did, and we're going to put a second one on. Okay, and you're going to baste that or glue that in place. And now we're going to move on to the petals of the project, and they're pink. And you're going to take some smaller squares and fold them into triangles and put one on either side of your rectangle and baste or glue in place. Moving along, you add a little bit of fabric to that shape, a rectangle, and stitch that right sides together. And then you've got 4 of these, and you're going to move on and do your top and bottom rows, and you are going to put 2 of your original patches on either side of the one you just did and stitch those, and that will give you your top and bottom row. And then you have to do your middle row, and that is accomplished by taking 2 of your petals that you just made and adding the center square. So you put your rows together. You've got 2 rows that you made and your center row. You get those all sewn together and pressed. And then you have to stitch all the way around, 1/4 of an inch all the way around your block to hold your corners in place, because what happens next is you are going to peel back those little triangles that you placed on your block, and you don't want your point to extend into the seam allowance. So when you've basted around the whole thing, it keeps that from happening. So you peel back your triangles and you give them a good press with steam, and then you take your sewing machine and you simply stitch around all those little areas that you peeled back to fasten it. And then you're all ready to set your block into your favorite project. So we'll let you decide what that's going to be. That's up to your imagination. And that's how we create our little Brenda's Blossom block. So we're hoping to see you soon at the Quilt Crawl, which runs until the end of the month. And we are open from 10 to 5, and we hope to see you soon.